Hello again, a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for dropping by and having a look at my video today. So this is going to be a brief, well, not very brief, but I will try to keep it brief. So this video is about a topic that most makeup lovers, most makeup addicts are going to absolutely love. It's all about primers and all you ever wanted to know about primers in this beautiful and crazy world of makeup. So if you like the idea, do consider hitting on the subscribe button and on the bell icon. So get yourself a warm cup of coffee or a warm beverage and we shall get started. Are you ready? Alright then, let's get started. Okay, so let's talk about primers. Now, what exactly is a primer? So consider primers like lingerie for your skin. So it basically provides that perfect canvas so that your makeup can go on smoothly. It holds everything in place and just makes your makeup last that much longer. It flatters, it conceals, and it'll blur out imperfections, and it'll even provide you that bit of hydration depending on the formula that you are using. It is the first step before the application of your makeup and as the last step of your skincare ritual. Some people completely miss this step, including myself, because this step of primers is usually underestimated, but after you start including primers, you will definitely see a difference in how your makeup feels and how your makeup looks at the end of it. I too have started including primers lately, and I hadn't done that before, especially on days when I just want my makeup to last that much longer. I do agree it is that one extra step that you need to put in, and it could take that extra bit of time and effort, but it is definitely worth it because at the end of it all, your skin will not look patchy or you will not find your makeup sliding off. It'll just make it look more seamless, if that makes sense. Now let's discuss what are the different types of primers. Now, primers are formulated as gels, creams, or powders. Most of the primers in the market available today are formulated with a silicone base called dimethicone. The reason that they include dimethicone into primers is because it provides that ultra smoothing effect. So in case your skin is acne prone or you have sensitive skin, I would definitely recommend that you do a patch test. With any primer out there, you must do a patch test. They are primers that will help you reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. They're primers that will help you mattify, and there are primers out there which will help you just blur out the imperfections, and there are primers out there which will just add that added bit of hydration and impart you with a dewy glow. So as you can see, different primers are formulated to accomplish different tasks depending on your concern and your skin type and what kind of look that you're seeking with your makeup on that particular day. Now, you also get color correction primers. Now, what is a color correction primer? Now, if you're looking for a color correction primer, the light green primer is a very good option if you have rosacea or acne scars, because the light green pigment or the light green color will actually help cancel out any extra redness or any redness for that matter, and just give you that even canvas to start with. Now, primers are not just for the face. You even have primers for the eyelids. The primary function of the primer for your eyelids is to prevent creasing of your eyeshadow, and at least I have experienced that with some of the cream eyeshadows. It does cause a bit of oiliness and a bit of creasing, but the eye primer that I'm going to show you today is going to be the perfect fit for your eyeshadows to stay in place and prevent creasing. So without much ado, let's dive into the world of primers, some that I absolutely love and some that I'm still on the fence with but are still very good options. Let's get started. So before I show you my favorite primers, I did want to mention this, that at the end of the video, I'm going to be showing you a pro tip. So stay tuned and make sure that you watch till the end. And remember, you first watched it here. Let's get started. Okay, now this primer that I'm going to show you, this was my very first primer that I purchased and I tried and I absolutely fell in love with, and I think I was just so lucky to have discovered this primer. This is the Guerlain Radiance Glow Primer. It actually has these flakes of gold. Now this is a beautiful primer. Now I have been using this primer for the longest time. Now what really piqued my interest in this primer was when I watched Tati's review on this primer, and I do know that this is one of her favorite primers, and rightly so. This is an absolutely lovely primer. I love it, especially because it smooths out your fine lines and it is not tacky, and you know, it'll just give you that firmer, smoother appearance. Absolutely amazing. Now, I would call this my near perfect primer. Why? Because my only gripe is that alcohol is on top of the list of this primer. So if they would remove the alcohol from this primer, I think this would be my holy grail primer. I hope, Guerlain, you are listening to me. Please listen to us. Alcohol is not good in makeup or in skincare. I think if they were only to remove the alcohol from this, it would eventually become my holy grail primer for all eternity. So that's my only gripe, but other than that, this is absolutely amazing. And just look at the packaging, it's so luxurious. I mean, it'll look amazing on your dresser as well. On to the next one. Now, this other primer I have recently discovered. It is the YSL Instant Moisture Glow. This is not exactly a primer, but it's more of a hybrid of a amazing moisturizer and a primer, so you could use it as both. And very true to its name, it does give you that instant burst of moisture as soon as you apply it on your skin. And you do not need an added primer because this actually is a hybrid of a moisturizer and a primer packed into one. The packaging states, the light smooth formula glides over your skin, hydrating and blurring imperfections to give your complexion an even soft glow. One alone, it leaves skin appearing perfected and naturally luminous. When followed with foundation, it helps makeup appear flawless and keeps it in place throughout the day. It can also be reapplied throughout the day to make your makeup appear freshly applied. Basically, what this primer is doing, it is giving you the dual purpose of a moisturizer, hydrator, and a primer all packed into one. Now this is a very good combination because you will get that dewy glow which most of us girls absolutely adore with our makeup, right? So if you're into a dewy makeup look, you will absolutely love this primer. So I would probably save this on for more dry days, or when my skin is feeling very dehydrated or dry, I would definitely be using this one. But then again, this has not caused any issues for me. It has been my go-to primer lately, especially during the winter months. It has been absolutely amazing. No regrets at all. On to the next one. Now this other primer that I'm going to show you is the Vitamin Enriched Face Base by Bobbi Brown. So this is basically like your oil-free moisturizer cum primer for all skin types. So even oily skins can use this safely. At least I have not had any issues with it at all. So you know what the best feature about this primer is? It's rich and yet not greasy. Now that is a very rare combination. I have not seen a primer which can tell you that it is rich but it's not greasy, because most primers out there that are rich will be greasy or feel tacky at times. So this primer is safe even for oily skin. Moreover, it is paraben-free, phthalate-free, and gluten-free, and it is vegan. So you're safe on that front as well. Moving on. Now it does say it is vitamin enriched. Now the packaging does say it contains vitamin C, E, and shea butter. And that is exactly what the primer does in terms of imparting that added boost of moisture to your skin just before you go on with your foundation. So this is currently among my top favorite of all primers, primarily because it gives you that really smooth skin to start with, and it gives you that added boost of moisture, and your foundation will not really stick to your dry patches when you apply this. And some of the primers are not that good with tackling the dry patches at times, and even if it does, it can be very rich, and if you're prone to breakouts like I am, that may not be the best bet for you. This I have found is a very good primer in order to accomplish that. I would, however, avoid using this under the under eye area. Now, I haven't tried that personally, but the packaging does mention that you should avoid the under eye area. Alright then, moving on. On to my eyeshadow primer. Okay guys, after a brief, well, not so brief technical glitch, I am back and we are rolling again. As they say, the show must go on. So we are back on the eye primers. Now the eye primer that I have been really loving is by Decay, and this is the eyeshadow primer potion, and I'm in the shade Original. This is one of the best eye primers I have tried, and it just works like a charm each time. Eye primer basically provides you with 3 benefits. First, it'll just make your eyeshadow go on that much smoothly. It'll just keep everything intact, and what I really like about it is it'll just make your eyeshadow color pop that much more, and it'll just bring out the vibrancy of the color. And the other thing is that it'll just make your eye makeup or eyeshadow last much longer. And there are an array of shades in this brand. I just went with the Original, and this is something that I'm loving right now. The other benefit I find with this is that it doesn't let your eyeshadow crease, which I at least find with some of my cream eyeshadows or even with some powder eyeshadows. This will prevent creasing, and that is what I really like about this. So if you have an issue with your eyeshadow creasing or just sliding off, I think this will be a really good option for you to go with. Okay, now comes a primer that has been one of my latest discoveries, and I'm absolutely loving this, girls. This is by the brand CoverFx, and this is their blurring primer cum pore minimizer 2-in-1. So blurring as in it'll just blur out your imperfections, and it'll just give you that smooth canvas to start with, and it really accomplishes that beautifully. This is an amazingly beautiful primer. I don't have words to describe this one. Now this primer does have dimethicone, however it is free of parabens, mineral oil, fragrance, phthalates, and all the other crap. So besides the dimethicone, which again most of the primers do have, I think this is an amazing primer, primarily because it will completely give you that blurring effect. It will give you that soft focus filter effect when you apply this. Now there are 3 key benefits of this primer. First, it gives you that blurring soft focus effect, which is absolutely amazing. You have to use it to believe it. Second is it is weightlessly buildable, which means you can layer it on without adding texture. And third is, this is multi-use in the sense that you can just apply it as a primer just to blur out the imperfections, and you can apply it over your makeup just as a retouch. So you can even do it on certain areas. You can just apply it on areas where you feel that your pores are more visible. You can just apply it there, and it will beautifully accomplish that task and address that concern for you. This primer is meant for normal to dry skin types. However, I have combination skin and I have been able to use it without any issues. The other thing is it is matte, but it just melts right into the skin and it is not sticky at all. So this primer, I would say, is really the bomb. You have to try it to believe it. Absolutely lovely. Now comes the primer that is just out of the world. And again, this is by CoverFx. Now this is the Dewy Skin Primer cum Hydrator. So if you're looking for that dewy glow, the dewy makeup look, this is the primer that you need to go with. Okay, now this primer has loads and loads of benefits. Now I can keep talking about this primer all day long. I love it so much, but I'll try to keep it brief and try to give you as much information as I can about this primer. Now, this primer is loaded with peptides and hyaluronic acid that nourishes and helps hydrate skin and leaves a dewy finish. It creates an ultra smooth canvas for flawless makeup application, perfect for normal to dry skin, although I have combination skin and I have been able to use it without any issues. Again, it is free of parabens, gluten, mineral oil, fragrance, talc, sulfates and phthalates. So again, girls, you cannot go wrong with this one. It is an amazing primer. So to summarize, it does have peptides, which means it will give you the anti-aging benefits. It has hyaluronic acid, which means it will keep you hydrated all day long. And it is free of all the crappy stuff that you want to avoid putting on your skin. So this is different from the other glowy primers that I have tried. Some of the primers can have that glittery, pearly effect, which does not look very natural. This gives a very natural, dewy, wet effect, like a damp effect to the skin, without it looking overdone, but just a very natural, dewy finish. Okay, girls, if you have reached this far in the video, it is time for me to give you that pro tip. So what I have discovered is that you take just like a tiny bit and you apply it on top of your Cupid's bow. And don't like rub it in, just dab it on that. Just dab it. You can apply it here. I also apply it sometimes in the center of my nose, you know, in between my eyebrows, just on my brow bone, and as well as on the high points of my face if I need to. This will not give you that highlighter kind of an effect, but it'll give you that very different dewy effect, which you will absolutely love. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but I just applied on my Cupid's bow, and this is my favorite spot to apply this. It just gives you that very, very beautiful wet look. It just looks so beautiful with makeup. I cannot stop raving about this. This is now among my top favorite primers for that dewy glow. Now, all the other primers will accomplish different concerns and address different issues. So if you're just looking for like a high quality primer just to give you that dewy effect, this is the primer to go with. Absolutely amazing. You're not gonna regret it at all. So all the primers are going to be listed in the description box below, along with the links where you can just go read up on it and see for yourself if it is the best fit for you or not. I also wanted to remind you that I have some amazing videos coming up in the next few weeks, along with a very generous giveaway. You don't want to miss that, so stay tuned and remember to subscribe to the channel, click on the bell icon so that you are notified instantly as and when I do upload a video. I look forward to meeting you over another cup of coffee or tea and continue with our conversation about makeup, beauty, and everything else. You take care of yourself wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in my next video.